they're just nice markers. These are really nice, vibrant colors. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Is It Worth It, where I go around the world and the internet looking for art supplies, trying to find something that will make your life just a little bit easier or to make you enjoy the craft just this much more. And today we are going right back to one of our favorite stores, which is Five Below, and they have come out with a whole bunch of new products and new branding, so I'm very excited to jump back into Five Below's product to see whether or not they're actually worth it or not. Now, today we are actually going to a new color set. We've got some more illustration markers, which is always the best. I highly recommend getting the illustration markers from Five Below. But these are pastel colors, so they have a brand new 21 count pastel color illustration marker set, and I cannot wait to jump into these to see if they're actually worth it or not. So, come on, let's go check them out. All right, so as you can see, the rebranding of all these markers and stuff has just been amazing. I love the consistency that they have with the marker and the drawing and showing you what's there. Like, this is way, way, way better than the plastic that we used to get, the plastic containers. So I'm very excited to see that they're really putting some time and effort into going, hey, look, these are awesome and high quality and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that they will continue with the illustration marker, series and continue to give us fantastic markers and at high quality. All right, so let's break into these. I'm super excited. Let's try to. Oh. There we go. Held together by a plastic strip or a tape strip. All right. Ooh, look at those colors. All right, so there you go. Got 21 brand new markers, all pastel colors. So I'm very excited, very, very excited to see how they're actually gonna hold up. Now, so I think that while they're coming out with more and more of these markers, we're starting to realize that where they're able to keep the budget down, and it's this plastic, so the hull feels real plastic. Like, it's not any different, right? It's the same size as all the other illustration markers, but this is just pretty plasticky, right? So you just got to keep that in mind if you have a tactile issue and you don't like plastic. Like, this feels really plastic. All right. The chisel looks the same, looks sturdy. It's got a lot of ink in it, so that's nice. Got a great snap. Right, so that's nice, love that. Bullet tip looks really good, right? Same as always, so the quality of the illustration markers have always been great, so I'm glad to see that that's the same. See the posts, nice and snug, real nice. All right, not waste any more time, so go ahead and jump into the testing. And as always, we're using Bristol Board Series 300, a smooth, nice, easygoing marker, nothing too fancy. All right, let's get a real pastel-y color. All right, so take this. All right, so it goes, as always, it goes down smooth. These illustration markers are absolutely phenomenal. All right, the ink flow on these is really nice. So you can go pretty quickly, right? And it just keeps up with you. The one thing that you do have to realize is that this one, because it can flow so well and it is nice, like I said, nice and juicy when it comes to the ink onto the bullet tip and the chisel, is that when you put your marker down, it is going to bead at the very beginning, right? So if you are kind of writing, you want to make sure that you're aware of that. You can avoid it, right, by not trying to push down too fast or too hard. So as long as you're already in motion before you put the marker down, you won't get that beading, okay? So that's nice. Now, looking at this color, it's a nice color, but it's a little dark. I would say it's a lot darker than the actual color. So that's something to keep in mind. You're gonna see like some of these like almost neon colors. Try that. So the ink flow, once again, right, just real nice, comes out smooth and easy. I've realized that these are a little bit louder, then they squeak a little bit. So you got to keep that in mind. It's the brush, the nib interacting with the paper. So you gotta keep that in mind when it comes to the bullet. But as far as the vibrancy of these colors, this is actually really nice. It's a nice pink, right? Very vibrant color. The problem that I'm seeing, and I can't really call it a problem, right? But the problem that's happening is that the color is actually darker. Excuse me. Now this one's pretty similar. That one's pretty similar, right? But what I'm seeing is that a lot of the lighter colors are coming in darker than what the cap would recommend. And we're waiting to see them dry, and it's not necessarily what I would say are pastel colors, right? They're just nice markers. These are really nice, vibrant colors. Like this paint purple might actually, you can fall that one into pastel. This green is definitely, I would say, is a pastel green, right? All light and airy. And it's just, like I said, and they're not all the same. So I have to point that out, right? Like I don't want to, this one's kind of beat up. Okay, so here, you might get a manufacturing error as far as the making of the chisel or the bullet. It's got all these bumps and stuff on there, right? But it seems like you can actually, this one's, gotta work this. This one's halfway dead, at least on the chisel, so you'd have to work this. There it is. There it goes. You just gotta get it started. But nothing wrong with the bullet, right? So that's good. But I'm gonna go off on a limb and say that all of these, it's a nice goldenrod color though. Yeah, all of these are actually darker. Every single color thus far has been darker than what it should be, as far as the cap goes. So as long as you know that, and you have yourself a color chart or something like that, so as long as you know that, then these are going to be fantastic. These are great. They're nice, they're vibrant, the flow is fantastic. Everything about these markers holds true to the illustration markers that we have seen from Five Below. They now have 3 sets. So all of that is true, and I think the main consistent thing about each one of these illustration markers is that they're darker than the cap, even though when they dry, right, so they're different colors. So as long as you have your own color chart and you can go, okay, 17 looks like this, PK69 looks like that, then you'll have, these are fantastic. You can get almost 100 markers. You can get 80 to 100 markers by just going by Five Below and paying like $20. So, you can't be mad at that. All right, that I'm gonna see. It's not at all the color I thought it was gonna be. So, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, if you have your color chart, there we go. All right, and then you just come back in, and blend that out. Right, so you can come through and blend those colors. Not necessarily a great pink and brown, but yeah. Let's see, is it this one? No, this one. This one, okay. So we're gonna do this one. Right, like as you know, I haven't tested these markers beforehand, so trying to find the right combination. But, right, oh, there you go. So it seems as though what you really need to do is do the dark color first and then blend out, because that seems to really make the blend nice. So once you get the right color combination, then you can just blend them out. I think we grabbed that color already. See? So yeah, they blend. As long as you have the right colors, right, you can get this nice transition, like if this was on the other side. So these, you can't fight the fact that these are really nice. And you do get some pastel colors, right? So you get this like aqua, this blue green, right? So you do get some pastel colors, but for the most part, they're not pastel colors, right? They might think they are, but they're really not. So just be aware that you are just gonna get some nice vibrant colors here. Right, so, but once again, ink flow, the bullets, the chisel, all top notch, as always. They do fantastic. So cannot argue with the illustration marker from Five Below, because they are absolutely fantastic. That's Stedler. So now we're going to do our quick ink test. See which ones, what fine liner you can use together with. Ooh. Oh no. Apparently that one's used this one too much. All right, so do I have another? It should be, there we go. All right, there we go. And it's a Faber-Castell. And then I do want to try this with King Art marker as well, or fine liner as well. All right, so with all these pastel colors, we have all these very, very light colors. We should be able to see how it's going to affect them, right? Pretty easily. So we're just gonna pull out a couple of them. See, like that green right there, that's not a pastel color. I can see we're starting to pull on some of them. All right, so let's see. So the Stedler seems to be affected the most by these markers. The Tombow, pretty much nothing at all, and the King Art. But the Faber-Castell and the Stedler are being affected by the alcohol content within the marker. So if you are going to use these markers, you might want to look into King Art fine liners as well as the Tombow fine liners, because none of the markers are affecting that at all. So there you go. All right, so we just got done reviewing the illustration pastel markers from Five Below. And I mean, they've held up to the illustration marker brand from Five Below. Ink flow's great. The let's see, the ink flow is great. The bullet and chisel, they work really well. The flow is awesome. They blend together. So these are a really nice addition to the illustration marker set. The only thing is that these are not pastel colors, right? There are some, don't get me wrong, there are some colors that would fit under pastel, but for the most part, they are super vibrant. And they also are a little bit darker than anticipated, but if you get yourself a color chart, these will be absolutely fantastic. And once again, these are 21 markers for $5. You cannot beat that. This is absolutely fantastic. You should definitely go to Five Below and pick these up. Well, that wraps up today's episode of Is It Worth It? I hope that you learned something and got some type of value out of the content today. If there is any material that you would like me to review, please go ahead and drop it in the comments below and I will add it to the list. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you will get notified every single time that I drop new content. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you at the next episode.